What happened in here?
We're tidying up the pantry!
So I guess this is the before. Do you want to explain why we're doing it?
Okay. Oh, well, you know. Hi guys, welcome to another day at home. Just realised I'm wearing the same top as yesterday. No judgment, you know, we're all living our best isolation lives. But I thought we'd clean up the pantry today because we have quite a small pantry and it's a real dicky shape, like it's a triangle. So we're just trying to work out the best way to kind of organise it. And I did find some cool things I didn't even know that we had. So we're definitely having pizza for dinner because I found this fat and seedy pizza base mix from Primal Alternative. So we're going to have pizza. And I'm going to make some cupcakes today because it is my mum's birthday today. So we just came up with an idea to kind of try and help her celebrate her birthday even though all of my family can't be together. Dan had already set up like a Zoom video call with my sister's family, Dan and I and my mum and dad, so that'll be fun. But I just thought maybe what we could do is like drop a little birthday party container at the two other houses. So I'm going to drop them like a cupcake each, a party hat, a popper, and a birthday candle, so they'll have, everyone will have something, and we'll try and hide it and see if we can get them just to know about it when we're on the video chat. But that's our little plan for today.
So Scout is really fascinated by all of our stuff being on the kitchen, on the dining room table. She's wandered through it a couple of times, so it's time to get this stuff off the table.
I will say what I've done so far. So we do have this other cupboard that also has food in it. So this cupboard as well used to have our herbs and spices in it, which wasn't really a good use of the space. The other problem with this kitchen is everything's very high. So not a lot of stuff is like easily accessible. But what I did with the spices, which I thought was kind of a cool idea, I also didn't want to have them out on the bench because we don't have a lot of bench space. So we got these trays from Kmart, which we were already using for something else, but now it's our spice rack. And we're kind of using up this little bit of room on top of the fridge that is pretty much useless otherwise. Ooh. So that's step one of the pantry clean out. Now I've just got to work out everything else. Definitely the alcohol.
We don't drink alcohol.
We don't drink alcohol, so we're going to pop that in a tub in the laundry because we really don't need it to be in the cupboard.
How you going, Erica?
Well, we've got a couple of unidentifiable ingredients. If anyone knows what this is.
It's got no taste, like it's very bland.
Let us know. But I didn't show you before. I got a label maker and I've been labeling things. We're trying just to use the jars that we already had at home, so we're not having to buy new ones, but luckily I'm a jar collector from way back, so these are all coconut oil jars. There's our Sucrum one. How are you going over there, Dan? What do you reckon?
Well, it's looking like there's stuff in there now in some form of orderly fashion. I'm not sure about that one in the middle because we're never finding stuff on that shelf.
Yeah, that's alright. We never found stuff there before anyway.
So anyway, it's better than what it was at the moment. How do you feel like it's going, Erica?
I think it's one of those things where it gets worse before it gets better.
It's getting better. Like there's not as much on the table now.
True. And look at this, the top baking shelf. I'm very happy with that.
It's looking better. The second baking shelf at the bottom there needs to be sorted out because that's not great. But overall, it looks like we're still probably going to need to use the tubs, but it's a lot more user friendly than what it was. So we are having a break from the pantry because our we've been doing a summit this weekend. We talked about it in yesterday's vlog, and that's about to start. And we've just organised, or Erica has just sorted out our breakfast, which is some avo on Aldi bread, and we had a couple of hot cross buns left over from last week, so we're also having those. I'm looking forward to it because I'm pretty hungry.
Okay, so I am just going to make the cupcakes now so they have time to cool and we can ice them before we do our little covert delivery operation. So all I had to do was whisk up the 4 eggs until they were kind of light and fluffy, and then I just add the cake mix in and portion them up. So that should be pretty easy. So I'm going to cook those. And for the icing, what you're meant to do is add 100 grams of butter, but I'm actually just going to add a block of cream cheese, which will make it more icing and more yummy.
So do you beat that or just hand mix it?
No, just kind of fold it in.
Oh, okay.
That was easy. The cake mix now. So as if anyone's watched our videos before, we have these weird 10 muffins, so we'll get 10 cupcakes. They'll be a little bit bigger because I guess you would normally get 12, and I'll probably just use my handy scooper duper thing to try and get them as even as I can.
Look at this, guys. The table is empty. So we got there. I'll show you the pantry. So much better. And I'll just show you the kind of baking shelf. How cool is that? All labelled, all neatly done. Erica worked really hard at getting that all done. We are just going to keep watching our summit, and we will show you what we get up to for dinner with Erica's family virtually.
Okay, so our little cupcakes are just cooling down now, and I'll mix together the cream cheese and icing sugar mix that came in the packet later and top them off. And I made the pizza base for our pizza for dinner later on, so just before we're ready to eat I'll top it and then put it in the oven. And getting our little party drop-off packages ready. So I've got one from that's going to my mum and dad's house, and one that's going to my sister's house, so there's 4 of them. So we've got a party hat each, a party popper each, and a candle, and we'll put a little cupcake each for them, and then we've got 4 for this family in here. So I think probably the tricky part is going to be getting it somewhere near their front door without them knowing, and then hopefully when we're on the kind of virtual dinner party, we can just say like, go to your front door and get your party pack. See how it goes.
All this sitting around doing nothing makes me hungry. So
doing nothing?
Well, we're watching the summit, but it's not like, you know, moving around or anything. So I'm gonna have some of this Kui beef jerky. This flavour is classic sea salt, and I haven't been a fan of jerky before, usually because I don't like the texture. It's very hard to chew, but this one is still like moist enough to be able to chew it, but also super, super delicious. And the carb count on this for the whole packet is 2.7 grams of carbs. So perfect, because a lot of them have sugar, but this one is pretty good. Don't mind us, Jem. It's just a 2.5-seater couch. We don't need to sit on it. You're right.
So the cupcakes are done. So I just sprinkled a little bit of this freeze-dried raspberry powder on the top to try and jazz them up a bit. Found this while we're cleaning out the pantry, so that was convenient. So now I might actually just pop this in the fridge for a little bit because I'm a bit concerned about the whole drop-off situation because it's quite warm here today and I don't want them to melt. Okay, so we've added our cupcakes to our little birthday party drop-off packages. So hopefully we can drop them off at my mum and my sister's place without them seeing us, so we'll see. Like my heart's beating. Okay. Well, the front door was open and I could hear the TV, so I just like shoved it in the garden and ran.
So, one down, one to go, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, we just saw my dad come out of the front of the house and he's like looking up a thing where it's like if they don't find out, it'll be a miracle. Luck, Dan.
The dogs went off. And Ray was screaming at him, and I was like hiding under the stairs.
Oh my god.
It's done. Okay, we're home just in time to do our Facebook Live, and then we've got the virtual birthday dinner. So let's go in. Okay, so I'm going to put our pizza in the oven. We probably won't eat all of this. I think it's a double batch, but we'll just use the leftovers for lunch tomorrow or something. So I just used this, it's like a no added sugar kind of pasta sauce. I think we got it from Low Carb Emporium. I did that on the base. And then I put pepperoni, some leftover olives and feta cheese. And that's it. And I'm sure it's going to be yummy. So Cheryl, who can you say?
This is so cute! Thank you, guys! It's your little party box, Mum!
So we did, Cheryl. Happy birthday to you. That went really well.
I know.
It took a little bit of teething problems to, teach the kids and the family of four not to talk when they weren't talking. So sometimes a couple were talking to each other and that was cutting off everything else. But after that, it went really well. I think your mum really enjoyed it.
And I think Mum really liked the surprise.
I think so.
Yeah, she put a little party hat on and she even ate the cake, so that was cool. Yeah.
It went really well.
What a day we've had. I'm exhausted, actually.
I'm ready for bed. Definitely.
Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this little day in kind of at home.
Get used to it because this is what our vlogs are going to be like. But people are saying they like it, so we'll keep going. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.